The beginning moments and first level are some of the most important for a game. This is where the players make their first impression of the title. With an extensive amount of games from modern titles, indies, and retro games, that first level can lead to us seeing this game all the way through, or deciding to move on to another title. Now, to certain games' credit, not every game needs to immediately grab you from the start. Sometimes titles have a rocky start, and then continually get better, or others have a slow build that pays off later on. But in the case of Syphon, this is an example of a title that throws you into the story right away, establishes its world, tone, and objectives, and then quickly gets the player into enjoyable, uninterrupted gameplay. I wanted to use this as an excuse to discuss how Syphon's initial cutscenes and first level effectively provides a great opener, and hooks the player right from the start. One of the first things you will do in this initial level is to get your bearings on your controls and the movement options. There is a training video that you can watch at the main menu, but most players will probably go straight into the game. Once the cutscene is over, you have full control. As Gabe, you can run and strafe, with strafing being a useful option while in larger areas for the third-person shootouts. The action button acts as a means to perform context-sensitive actions, like flipping switches or opening doors, along with being the main means to manually reload and climb. For shooting, you have two main options. You have a lock-on that will automatically target the nearest enemy and make shooting easy to perform. What I love about this is how the developers made this camera have a sweeping motion to create a dynamic effect. This is really seen well when firing at an enemy who is on a different plane than you, along with target locking onto somebody who is behind you, as the camera provides a cinematic effect of showing you your target. Lock-on aiming was very common for the time, and this is done with some nice visual flair to the presentation. Your other option is to use the manual first-person aiming. While not required in much of the first level, the manual aim will aid you in getting headshots to either maintain stealth or take out enemies with body armor faster. While in manual aim, you are locked into a stationary position, but you can lean left and right, meaning you can make use of a piece of cover and play more conservatively. There are also little details that you will notice the more you play, and these will help to enhance your options. For example, crouching while using your target lock will improve your accuracy, along with when you hit down on the D-pad or thumbstick twice. This will cause Gabe to quickly turn around, allowing for faster movement if you need to escape. In this first area, you will start getting accustomed to the different meters you need to pay attention to. The danger meter will indicate if an enemy is about to land a hit on you. Finding cover and using your roll are two great means to reduce the damage bar. Your target lock bar will tell you how likely you are to land a hit yourself. This first area has some respawning enemies, so it makes for a good training zone as you try and understand your moveset. One thing I want to make note of is how Syphon provides you with a map on the pause screen. This is something that can largely go unused by many when they first start playing the game, but it can be incredibly useful for some of the later levels, along with this first stage. Syphon informs you of your objectives but does not handhold you to them, so in many cases player exploration and using your map can aid you in this rewarding process. Lastly, at this point you will probably notice what your starting equipment is. You have a silenced pistol, sniper rifle, flashlight, and best of all, the taser. Both of these firearms are key tools in maintaining stealth, with the flashlight helping to complete objectives in the upcoming levels, and making the darker areas easier to find items in. And the taser is easily one of the best things to come out of this game. When you hit someone with it, the camera will jump to the position of the target, and you will watch as the enemy cries out in pain and is eventually lit on fire. This bit of over-the-top violence can be darkly funny, and it never gets old. Something that I liked about Syphon's design is how you enter a level and know a few of your objectives, but as you explore more of the stage, new objectives will present themselves, and this allows for each stage to have an element of mystery about them. You never really know everything that you will need to complete when starting a stage, and since new objectives will present themselves to you as you complete more of the level, this adds into the player exploration portion of Syphon Filter that is aged very well. For example, the map may indicate where some of your objectives are, but it gives no indication where these hidden objectives are located. It is up to you to find the new areas of the map, see what is over there, and then complete them accordingly. While these objectives never change, the act of adding new things to complete on the fly from the player exploring makes the player have more ownership over the game and the experience. You choose to go down that alley which prompted a new objective, not the game telling you or hand-holding you there. This is very well presented from the first level, where the game lets you know where the comms ray is, but makes no mention of anything that needs to be done at the bank. But if you choose to go that way, you will find out that there is a situation that needs to be handled, or depending on what direction you took first, you will be alerted of the bank situation through the radio. Another example is getting into the subway tunnels. You need to find a switch to unlock the subway. Again, the map now shows you where the objective is, but not how to get there. This may sound simple, but I really like how there's a bit of problem solving on exploring the areas available to you, and then trying to shoot out the lock to get into another area of the map is really satisfying. Generally, Syphon Filter does a good job of providing limited direction, while also allowing enough room for the player to get a bit lost in the levels to allow for rewarding exploration. This helps to create some fun aha moments, like how in some cases I had no idea I could go this way, or I had no idea that was actually an option. But when the game leaves some room for you to be able to do this, it's really satisfying. I felt this way when I first played this game, as I went straight ahead at the start of the level. That is where the action is, but you can choose to start going down the alley behind you. The first area is a rather large level with some interesting locations. You will fight through streets, alleys, a bank, bar, and then finally in the subways. The objectives range from helping local bomb squad members, stopping the terrorist operations, and accessing the subway to find their leaders. One of the biggest reasons why this level is so enjoyable is with the player choice and where you can go at the start when completing your objectives. So at the start of the level, you can go in one of three directions. You can go straight and head for the bar and take care of the comms array, or you can opt to head down to the subway tunnels, but you'll meet a wall as you need to find a switch to unlock the door. And lastly, you could pull a 180 at the start of the stage and head towards the bank. You'll need to hit each of these locations at some point in the level, but the order in which you do them is all up to the player and can create a slightly different experience for each person. For example, the path to the bank is often missed at the start because it is behind you at the start. Now, it is very satisfying to discover the alley behind you and find out that it leads to an objective, even if you miss this alley initially and were informed of the bank objective later on through Leon. It is still enjoyable because you need to find your way there, and even then the game doesn't say you need to address the objective now. You still have some control in how you tackle things. When I mentioned how Syphon has timeless design, this is an example of that. The first level is not a narrow and linear set of events, but rather a large space with unique locations that are found through player exploration, while also being a good way to get acclimated to the controls and the gameplay systems. You could do the bank first, or as one of the last things you do before the sewers. It's all up to you, and the minute-to-minute action is satisfying with the variety of weapons you get to use, with Syphon still having quality sound and impact effects. Syphon Filter 1 has a design that respects the player and allows for some enjoyable problem solving and rewards exploration. The hands-off nature to it is very much an older design, and in many ways timeless. Like I said, it's a very small moment, but when you reach the subway door and cannot pass it until you find a switch, but you are not explicitly told where the switch is, and it's really fun to figure out. The map indicates where you need to go, but it doesn't say you need to shoot the lock on the gate to get to the switch. Honestly, my first pass through this area I thought thought the fence was just part of the background. Syphon Filter does a good job of intermingling problem solving with the action. Related to this are some of the fun secrets that can be found in this level. For one, when you're in the very same alley, there is a box up top, but it is not obvious on how to get up there. Upon further investigation, it seems like you can jump up, and once you're up there, you'll find the grenade launcher. Another secret is found through using a specific code. It allows you to enter the movie theater, and then you can watch all the cutscenes like a film.
When does the operation begin?
Our intelligence within the FBI was not clear, but Romer's men are already inside the subway.
Is it the same virus?
Yes, enough to eliminate everyone within 100 miles or more.
Procedure?
Before hitting start, you have 3 short cutscenes to set up some mystery. We are in a rainforest and our 2 heroes are meeting their contact, and find out that he has been killed. Then it shifts to seeing the agency, followed by a final cutscene set in a winter area, getting some more information on a bioweapon. In just a few minutes, we do not know much, but the plot might revolve around a virus of some kind. These cutscenes make the player ask a lot of questions and give no real answers, but from a narrative point of view, I was interested. Then we are greeted to the main menu and the wonderful Syphon Filter theme. We are treated to another cutscene once we start the game, and it involves the agency sending Gabe and Leon out to handle a situation in DC that seems to be related to those events that happened in the prior cutscenes. And then to cap off the stage is the explosive finale with the bomb. The narrative mixed with the gameplay sells the game and keeps the player wanting more. The story is all plot focused and light on character development, but we get some likable leads with Gabe having a specific type of delivery that I honestly love.
Setting a beacon. Wait. Leon, this one's different from the others. It has a shorter timer, and it looks...
Gabe, that's not viral. It's...
Too late!
Syphon Filter 1 is a memorable game, and I think the execution of its introduction and first level are a big part of that. It shows some of the best stuff right away, and as a player you only want to get more of it. And at the same time, there are still more surprises and fun situations yet to be experienced in the later levels. The minute-to-minute shooting is solid and still fun to this day. Syphon Filter can be a really challenging game, and the first level is honestly on a bit of the easy side of things, but it all factors into providing a decent challenge, and allowing the player to get accustomed to the gameplay systems and mechanics. For me, the biggest highlight here is how this first level is rather big, and allows for player exploration and choice on which objectives to tackle first, along with how you complete some of them. Syphon's design allows for enough room for the player to figure out stuff through clues, or experimentation, and this is carried through the rest of the game. Level 1 both sets the standard on the quality for the rest of the game, and effectively hooks the player into this world. My plan going forward is to go through this game level by level, exploring them just like this video. So if you're looking for a deeper look into Syphon Filter 1, then make sure to check back for the next episode, and let me know in the comments if this is something you would like me to do for the entire game. If you're interested in being notified of new videos, please hit the subscribe button and bell. And if you would like to support the channel and get early access to content, please check out my Patreon. All of the links will be at the end of this video and within the description. And thank you very much for watching.